Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Sunday, the 3rd of July, 2022. That is right. So, today was an interesting day, and here's why. Today, we were starting up not one, but two new playthroughs. One I picked, and one you guys were picking, okay? Today on the pre-stream, also called now the Level 1 Podcast, I went through my history of experience with the game Final Fantasy VII, explaining how, I basically got first exposure to the Final Fantasy franchise when I was a kid, how I liked the games over the course of the SNES era, and how I received and or thought of Final Fantasy VII with all the hype and everything that had happened during its release on PlayStation 1, as well as a little bit of follow-up on the amount of times that I played it and things like that. So it was a pretty interesting segment because it definitely went right into our first stream today, which was the premiere of Final Fantasy VII. Pretty exciting. I've never played the original for the internet. In fact, I haven't played the original in about 20 years. The last time that I played this game was in the early 2000s on the PC version. Incidentally, the version of Final Fantasy VII I'm playing is that PC version, only ported on PS4, and I'm playing it on PS5 with 0 loading times, which is absolutely excellent. So, it went really well. In the first 3 hours, we got through a bunch of the introductory segments, teamed up with Eris, and now I think we reached the slums. And that's where we are right now. It was really good. People seemed to really enjoy it. Interactions were great. Support was great. Engagement was great. I don't think I can say a negative thing about the stream. It went really well. In fact, I would say the only negative thing was when I uploaded the videos to YouTube, all the music supposedly got claimed, but not by the people who actually owned the rights to it. It was some Spanish company. And I'm pretty sure there's no such thing as a Spanish music company that thinks they own the rights to the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack. So I disputed all their bullshit claims. Likely this is going to happen on every video I upload in the game, though. For some reason, this Spanish company seems to be claiming everyone's gameplay of Final Fantasy VII. Figure that one out. Anyway, it was great. I had a good time. Everyone seemed to have a good time. Now, here's the thing. If you're watching the videos, you're enjoying them, please, by all means, like the videos, leave comments, let me know what you think of the playthrough so far. If the positivity and the engagement level stays at the level it was at for this first stream, I have no reason to not keep this as a main gameplay stream until we beat the game. Now, dependent on how well it goes, if people are really enjoying themselves and want to see me do everything in the game, we can do that, but that's going to take a while. This game, if you 100% it could be a lengthy playthrough because you've got a lot of grinding. You got to do raising chocobos and racing them and all kinds of stuff to get a lot of the secret stuff in the game. Or we could just go through the game and beat the story. So really, it depends on what people want and how well received it is. Initially, today, first stream was great. So if we keep that momentum up, maybe I'll play it really lengthy over the summer. We'll see. But anyway, so far, so good. I had a great time. All right? Tonight's late stream was completely in your hands because it was you guys voting for viewer's choice. There were 2 games in the running that were tied neck and neck. Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, and Fable Anniversary. And the poll was shifting left and right. When I started my late stream, the winner was determined by, get this, 0.04% of the poll. That means with 2,200 voters, it was like 5 people, if that, who actually determined this winner. It's pretty crazy. Out of the 14 years I've been making content, I have never had a poll determined by that few amount of people, and that was that close down to the end. That was insane. So, what won? Zelda 2. So we played Zelda 2 tonight. Oh boy. So I never played Zelda 2 before, all right? I played Zelda 1 on Game Boy Advance many, many years ago. I never played Zelda 2. This game felt to me like a hybrid because it felt like it was trying to be Castlevania, but a lot of people have said, no, actually this game came out before Simon's Quest, which is weird because I will tell you, this game has a ton of similarities with Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. It took a tried and true formula that people enjoyed in the first game and tried to completely transform it into an RPG with leveling and cryptic puzzles and not knowing where the fuck you're supposed to go. It really feels like Simon's Quest. It feels like it's exactly the same idea. Take what worked in the first game, throw it away, and make a completely different style of game out of it for the second iteration. By the way, it worked so poorly, they never did this again. This was thrown away, and Zelda never played like this ever again. Anyway, the first hour was good. I was learning the controls, getting the hang of things, learning how magic works, etc. Basically, when we got to about the last half hour, all right, this is when the game kind of really starts to get cryptic and falling apart. You don't know where to go. I'm wandering around. I'm finding a dungeon. Okay, it's the second major dungeon in the game. And I'm going through it, and I'm doing pretty good. And then all of a sudden, every direction I go, it's got the really tough night enemies who it seems like you can't really kill them without taking a couple of hits, which would be fine if there was a way to restore your health, but there's not yet. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm even safe stating I can't get through this dungeon. And people are like, nah, you're kind of screwed. What you need to do is leave, come back after you get the healing spell. Well, where do you get the healing spell? Listen to this. There's a town where if you go into an empty house and walk up to a table that looks exactly the same as every other table in the game, and you crouch and press a button, you will find a mirror on the floor that's invisible. Then you take that mirror and give it to a random townsperson who's so happy that you found it for them, they open the door, and then a mage inside the house will give you the healing spell. I didn't make that up. That's how you do it. Wow. And by the way, no one gives you a hint on how to do it. You just have to figure it out. So, of course, I missed it when I was in the town at first. So, basically, people were like, yeah, you're just going to have to leave and go get this spell. So I did. And that's kind of where we left it. Basically, like the first hour, I was having a great time. It felt like a retro game. It felt like, classic style controls or whatever. And the second half became cryptic and annoying, just like Simon's Quest. And I'm like, wow, if you want to draw parallels, two franchises, the first game is outstanding. The second game runs away from the formula that worked in the first game, tries to make it into the same kind of RPG, and it failed in both games. And then in part 3 of each franchise, they went back to the classic. Link to the Past went back to top-down classic gameplay, and then Castlevania 3 went back to classic linear gameplay, So, I had a good time, but man, it was frustrating. It was really frustrating trying to figure this out. I want to say thank you to everyone who attended, supported, engaged, and helped me. If you guys didn't help me, I would never have gotten anywhere in this game. I would have been lost as shit and not having a good time, all right? Support was pretty good. We got like 7 new members. There was a few super chats, and I think we made about $50 in tips. Not bad for a late night retro game. I'm not going to complain about that, all right? So, overall, today went well. 2 new playthroughs, both old school. People really liked Final Fantasy VII, seemed to be really engaged in it, and people, for the most part, attended and supported Zelda as well. So, no complaints, good stuff, great day, okay? Now, here's the deal, everyone. Tomorrow is the 4th of July, or Independence Day here in the United States. It's a national holiday. Most people celebrate this holiday by spending time with their friends and family, cooking out, and having a good time. A lot of people just stand around drinking beer all day, okay? I know tomorrow likely the attendance on my streams will be low. I know that most people will likely be busy if you live in the United States. However, I also know I have an international audience, and those of you who don't live in the United States, it's just Monday, so you'll probably be here, okay? I didn't want to do a stream where it's like an ongoing narrative playthrough tomorrow, because I figured if there's going to be less people, don't screw them over out of missing the stream, you see? So, tomorrow I am playing Capcom Fighting Collection as the main stream, 3 hours of competitive multiplayer. Vampire Savior, Hyper Street Fighter 2, Gem Fighter Minimix. After having played Red Earth and Cyberbots, I've deemed they are not competitive games. And I still haven't played Puzzle Fighter, nor do I really care to, because I don't like Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. I'm not good at it. By the way, I'm not saying I'll never play it. I'm just saying for now, I'm just not in the cards. So, tomorrow, all 3 of those games, in a circle, whatever people want to play, on the PlayStation. Why? Because I can't find anyone on Xbox. I tried again on Friday night. No one was playing this game on Xbox. So, I got to play it on PlayStation. I got to play on what people are playing it on. My hope is that even though some people will be very busy with the holiday, some people will be off of school or work and maybe have nothing to do. Maybe there'll be more players playing than usual. That would be nice if I could get like constant matches back to back. All right. So I'm excited for tomorrow. I hope that you guys are too. I hope you'll join me for the main stream of Fighting Game Fun, while also on the Level 1 podcast, talk a little bit about Independence Day, ways I've celebrated it over the years with my family and things like that. Okay. Then on the late stream tomorrow night, it is the conclusion of Sonic Origins. We're going to finish up Sonic and Knuckles, and then if there's extra time, maybe dabble in trying a little bit of Knuckles in either Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles. And if there's extra time, maybe do some Q&A. We'll see. I'm not committing to do another playthrough with Knuckles, even though, yes, it changes the story slightly and there's different bosses. I don't know if I really want to replay the same exact games again with Knuckles. I do know that they're a little different, but at the same time, I did just go through 4 Sonic games. So I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll see how it goes tomorrow night. If it goes well and people really want Knuckles, maybe I'll continue the playthrough for another stream or 2 and play through it with Knuckles. Okay? All right. So that's my Independence Day plans. Then on Tuesday, it's my last consecutive streaming day of the week. And we're just going to do a redo of today. More Final Fantasy VII on the first stream and more Zelda 2 on the late stream. One final thing. If you were really into Fable and you're disappointed that it lost by 0.04%, don't worry. I already told everyone tonight I'm playing it. When am I playing it? Well, this week we got a lot of stuff ending. Sonic Origins, Castlevania. Likely, in about a week's time, we'll be looking for another game, and likely Fable Anniversary will be that game that we will balance with everything else. I already have it installed on my Xbox Series X ready to go. It's a no-brainer that we kind of start it up and balance it with the other games that I'm playing. All right? So no worries. Just wait a little bit. Be a little patient. Fable is coming. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Happy early Independence Day to those of you who celebrate it, and I'll see you tomorrow for fighting game fun. Have a good night and peace out.